Today on Studio 18 Live, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company, we'll be discussing all things Ole Miss soccer. To join the conversation, tweet your questions using hashtag Studio18, or you can email your questions to studio18 at olemiss.edu. Here now are Michael Thompson, AD for Marketing and Communications, and this week's guest, head coach of the Ole Miss soccer team, Matt Mott.
Welcome to Studio 18 Live, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company. We've got a great show for you today from our brand new set. But before we get to our guest, this week's Twitter question was, what are you going to be for Halloween? We have a lot of great answers coming in. Keep tweeting. Make sure to use hashtag Studio18 and then come watch and see your tweets scrolling across the bottom. Let's get to Coach Mott. Coach Mott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I love the set.
First guest ever on the set.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That's very, very awesome. So we asked all of our fans about what they're going to be for Halloween, and I know you've got a big game, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and so I don't expect you to dress up on the sidelines, but by any means. But I'm sure with 3 kids, you're going to get dressed up at some point. What are you going to be?
Well, I think first of all, I want to be a Magnolia Cup winner. So how if I can dress up like the Magnolia Cup, or at least have it with me, that would be a good way to start it, certainly. But the kids are excited. They love Halloween, and in my neighborhood, we live out in North Point, and it's crazy out there. So I'm sure they'll be running around before they come over to the game.
Oh yeah, it's going to be wild. All right, let's talk some soccer. You and I got here you got here in August of 10, right?
May.
All right, May. So
yep.
I got here about 3 or 4 months after you, but was there for your first season. And in just a short amount of time, you have really taken this program and completely turned it around. I mean, what is the secret to that?
I think recruiting good players and good kids and good character kids. And, you know, it's our goal to come in and change the culture of the program. And we went to work at that right away. And we felt like we had to get the right players for our culture. And not that the culture was bad, but something that we needed to change. We needed to change accountability and really make it harder for them to understand what it took to be part of the program. We talk about all the time you have to earn the right to have the privilege to play for Ole Miss. And we take that very seriously, and we found the right players, and that's really kind of steamrolled us into this season.
It's really just the buy-in to the philosophy of what you guys bring as a staff.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about energy and effort every single day, and this group that we have now is totally bought in, and they're hungry, but they get along. They get along better than any team I've ever been a part of in my 20 years as a coach, as an assistant coach, and a head coach. This group is like none other. They really are together, really love each other, and work really hard for each other.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I mean, being ranked, it's great to be ranked. There's no question. It makes you feel good about where the program is going, but you can't really fly underneath the radar anymore at all. And you're also going to have to make sure that you keep that team kind of keep their heads leveled and all that. I mean, what's being ranked been like for you guys?
Yeah, you know, we've kind of taken it in stride. This group just doesn't get rattled. They don't get rattled for big games. You know, we played down at Texas A&M last week, and it was in a crazy atmosphere, and we came out and performed really well. You know, they don't take teams lightly. So we talk about all the time, it doesn't matter what it says on the front of the jersey. We have to go out and play as hard as we can for every single game. And our team we've showed up every single game, and I think that talks to the character of the team and understanding. And a lot of it is our leadership within the team and getting the girls ready to play every game.
Yeah, I know we have a great facility out there for the fans, and you know, this year we've added some graphics with a lot of the help from the creative team here, and just to really kind of liven it up even more. And then the Gilliam Center has a big part in the Forward Together campaign. I mean, how are you know, those changes, and how are just the future of where our facility is looking? How does that help you in recruiting?
Yeah, well, first of all, the $400,000 field, you know, redo last 2 years ago has been huge. I mean, they're talking about rain tomorrow night for our game against State, but we know it can monsoon, and 10 minutes later we can play just because of the quality that they put in there. So for me, the surface is most important, and it is awesome. I mean, we are the top surface, I think, probably in the country, certainly in the South. Wow. Which is awesome. So we can play under any condition, which is great. So that's number one, and that they did a great job with that. The graphics, like you said, the stadium, it feels like a soccer stadium. You know, there's no track around it or any of that kind of stuff. So we're very fortunate that we get to play in our own venue, and it's just women's soccer, no men's soccer, no lacrosse, none of that kind of stuff. So we really sell that in recruiting, that, listen, you're going to come out here and train on the top field in the country. I tell the recruits all the time, I say, listen, if you can't play out here, you can't play. You're just not good enough because our field is so perfect. But our facility's great, and it's exciting that we have the Forward Together campaign with some renovations coming, which probably it's about a 10-year-old building. It's probably ready for that. But I'm very happy with our locker room, our team room. It's all right there. Our offices are there, so that's our home over there in Gilliam, and the girls feel it, and us as a staff, we definitely feel like that's home, and it's only getting better and better. And it certainly helps in recruiting.
Good. So, lots of success. I mean, so far, and probably your goals are higher than where we are sitting right now, which is great. What are some of the challenges that we face there?
I think our once you kind of get on the scene, you want to stay on the scene, right? If you get in the top 25, you want to stay in the top 25 year after year, and that certainly helps in recruiting. I think that's important, and I think that I have the right staff in place. We have the right budget in place. We have all those things, I think, in place. Can we continue to attract the best athletes? And I think that's the challenge, to take another step forward in our recruiting so we can get in the top 10 and we can talk about getting the Final Four. And that's our vision as a staff. We came in here saying we have everything in place to win at the highest level. Now we just got to go out and get the best players, and we're certainly doing that. And we talk to our team a lot about it's our job to go out and get the best players we can, better players than you. Your job is to not let us, by how hard you work and how much you're willing to put forth. And this team has definitely done that. It's made recruiting very difficult, which is a good thing.
That's
certainly.
big time. That's big time. So, kind of a hybrid question here. Tomorrow night, obviously, we've got Mississippi State coming in here. Big game. And it's senior night. And so you talked a little bit about recruiting, but you didn't recruit these seniors. Talk a little bit about that group.
Yeah, they've been a really special senior class, and they're kind of a mixed bag. We had Mandy and Aaron and Maddie Cunningham were all recruited by the previous staff, and then we recruited Rafa and Emily Reed transferred, and Brianna Sapolsky both transferred. So that 6 is but they've come together really as a great unit. And I'm wearing the wristband now. It says 1992 strong. That's been our motto all year that the seniors came up with. And what it is we took the heights of everybody on the team, the staff, the support staff, and we put their heights into inches. And we added that all together, and we came up with 1,992. And that's what it's all about. And those seniors came up with that. And they've really bought into that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for everybody. Everybody matters. And they've just carried that along. They've taught the younger guys what it means to be an Ole Miss soccer player. I think that's the biggest thing that this group of seniors will leave is this is how we do things. This is Rebel soccer life, we call it. And if you're going to be part of Rebel soccer, this is how you're going to do things. And those guys have embraced that for their 4 years and really have helped us change the culture.
That's awesome. Talk a little bit about your staff.
I'm so fortunate, Michael. I really am. I mean, Becky Fletcher is our recruiting coordinator. She's one of the assistant coaches. But Becky is an interesting story. Her and I were assistants at Auburn together. I left to go be an assistant at Texas. She left to be a head coach. We always talked about if we ever could, we wanted to work together again. And I was very fortunate to get her to come back and work with us here. And she's like a sister to me. Certainly, she's the godmother of my youngest child. She's just a wonderful person, and she's a great coach, but a better person. And the players are in her office all the time, just in there with academic issues or boyfriend issues or soccer issues. They just feel very comfortable and with Becky. Rob Thompson is our goalkeeper coach and also one of our assistants, and he's as passionate about soccer as there is a person on the planet. I really believe if it's the Super Bowl or an MLS playoff game, or MLS regular season game, he's watching the MLS game instead of the Super Bowl. That's how passionate he is about soccer, and he brings that passion every day, and his knowledge of soccer is really high. And I'm very fortunate to get him. I mean, he has an interesting story. He was at Georgia, and his father-in-law got ill. He took over the family business for a time, and his father-in-law beat the cancer, came back to work, and Rob wanted to get back into coaching right as I got this job. And him and I have been friends for about 10 years too. So I think I have the best staff in the conference. I really do, and we're certainly one of the best in the country. Erica Wilburn's our trainer. She's been here a long time and is excellent at what she does. Randy Dorvan is a great strength coach. And then we added a director of ops, which we're one of the very few schools in the conference that has a full-time director of ops position. Summer Ragsdale, who was a student athlete at Auburn for us, and then went on to be a school teacher, is here, and she's doing a fantastic job. So I always tell everybody I have the best staff in the country. The head coach is a little dodgy, but the staff is awesome. So we're really, really, really fortunate.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Coach. We're going to take a quick break, show you what's going on campus. as far as upcoming events. And when we come back, we're going to answer two big questions from Twitter. Coach Mott is going to answer these questions from Twitter. So we'll be right back.
This week on campus. Tomorrow night, your number 25 ranked Ole Miss soccer team hosts Mississippi State at the Ole Miss Soccer Stadium. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. and it's senior night. Get there early as we honor our seniors before the game. Men's basketball is home in the Tad Pad this Friday for their exhibition game against South Carolina-Aiken. Admission is free and all are welcome. Tip is scheduled for 6 p.m. The women's basketball team hosts their exhibition game on Sunday against Christian Brothers inside the Tad Pad. Their tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. We have already surpassed our 2012-2013 basketball season ticket marks, but season tickets are still available and can be purchased by visiting OleMissSports.com or by calling the Rebel Ticket Office at 888-REB-TKTS. Shark Tank posters are now available for purchase by visiting OleMissTeamShop.com. And finally, Ole Miss football tickets are still available for the remaining home games. Join the 401k Challenge this season as Rebel Nation looks to surpass 401,000 people in attendance this football season. Call the Rebel Ticket Office at 888-REB-TKTS or visit OleMissFB.com. For information on these and all other events, go to OleMissSports.com.
Welcome back. We've got two questions from Twitter, so let's hit this first one, okay? And you're active on Twitter.
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
you?
Yep.
It's a great vehicle.
It is.
All right, first question comes from Thomas. Is Rafa the best player you've ever coached? Because 16 goals sounds crazy. And then her follow-up question is, how much better does she make her teammates?
The answer to the first question, I believe she is the best. She's certainly the best forward I've ever coached. 16 goals. I was just talking to my wife this morning and saying I had a player at Texas had 15 and Rafa now has 16. So as far as a forward goes and a dominant player, I think she probably is the best player. She's certainly the most exciting. You know, Joe Getson came into my office the other day and said, you know, Rafa, it's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters play against the Washington Generals when she's out there and she gets the ball. So, you know, she really is a dynamic goal scorer and she's really exciting with the ball. She's certainly up there. And she does make her other teammates better because she draws a lot of attention clearly, and that opens up other gaps for Olivia Harrison, Bethany Bunker, Mandy McCullough, Jen Miller, those guys. So I think that yes, she absolutely does.
All right, let's go to number two. Meg, she asks, how much responsibility do you give to your players to lead the team? That's a great question.
That is a great question, and a lot. I think that it's important that we have three captains, and Mandy McCullough, Aaron Emerson, and Sam Sanders, Sam being a sophomore. And I do lead a lot to them, and we meet weekly, the four of us, and what's going on with the team, what do we need. We talk about travel. They make a lot of decisions on where we go and from a eating dinner standpoint and, you know, what we're wearing and all that kind of stuff. But on the field, they're in charge. I mean, we're standing on the sideline. We can only do so much. We can make some sub adjustments, but when the game's going on, they have to make the adjustments on the fly. So absolutely a lot of it. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, we really thank you for joining us today.
No problem. My pleasure.
We're going to wrap up the show and give you a sneak peek of tonight's episode of the season. This is about a 3-minute clip, almost like a season in review. So stay tuned, check this out, and then come back at 6 p.m. tonight at watchrebelvision.com to watch the full episode. We'll see you next week on Studio 18 Live, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company.
With 8 games in the books and headed into the bye week, the Rebels find themselves sitting at 5-3 and in control of their own destiny. The first 3 months of the season have shown the Rebels victory and defeat, heartache and triumph. Starting in Nashville.
Touchdown Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt goes up by 2, 34-32 with $1:30 to play. Well, you have 1:30 left to play.
Certainly enough time, but you've got to get this offense in gear. 2nd and 10 of the 25. Handoffs to Scott. He sweeps to the left to the 30, 35, down the sidelines to the 40, makes a move to the 45, the 50. He's to the 40. He could go. He's to the 25, the 20. They dive at him. They miss him. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Ole Miss, and the Rebels have regained the lead.
9 days ago in Nashville, Tennessee, there was an Ole Miss party, and today the scene shifts to the Grove as Ole Miss plays host to Southeast Missouri.
The freshman, Evan Ingram, hit over the middle, races down the middle of the field with that touchdown.
Malcolm Brown was just eaten up by C.J. Johnson.
Texas went early, fired toward the end zone, left corner, grabbed by Dante Moncrief. Carry him in the end zone, boys! Touchdown, Ole Miss! And the Ole Miss Rebels win this one 44-23.
Give Ole Miss credit. They are making the #1 team in the country earn every yard and every point. Ole Miss gets into Alabama territory twice. They turn it over on downs, and then they have a turnover. It might be a different story.
Right to the 40. He's to the 35, the 30. He could go. He's to the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's in the end zone. 25-0. Crimson Tide wins here. Ole Miss gets its first loss to fall to 3-1.
They have to find a way to rebound after being shut out and get back on track in their red zone.
We're just standing around. We got to take it to them. We're the better football team.
4th and 17. Last chance for the Rebels, and Wallace is sacked again. And Auburn is going to win this and go 4-1. Ole Miss is going to drop to 3-2.
Finally home, and tonight, hoping to pick off the #9 team in the country, the Aggies of Texas A&M. It's Vince Sanders. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
Treadwell's first touchdown of the season. The freshman attack for the Rebels. He's got a lane. He's going to take it in, maybe. Dives, and he broke the plane for the touchdown.
And now it's going to be on the leg of Josh Lambo. Kick on the way, and it is good. And the Aggies, ranked 9th, have survived another road victory. That's 10 straight.
One big storyline for this game, the significant injuries to Ole Miss, because this defense now is so undermanned and they're facing an LSU offense that is well skilled and so proficient. And that ball is intercepted. That is Chief Brown coming up with the big play.
Gains control. That's a perfect strike.
Throws toward the end zone. The pass is going to be picked off again.
This time it's Charles Sawyer. Can you believe this storyline? Honey, toddy, gosh almighty.
And once Jalen Walton got past the linebackers, nobody was going to catch him.
Now as a senior, a golden opportunity for moments like this.
Waiting for the snap back. There it is. It's high. There's the kick. He's got the distance. It's on its way. It is.